Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and I'm here today for my Q&A that I promised to do. It's been raining for a whole week, so I haven't been able to film it, but finally it's not raining anymore, so now I can finally get a little bit of sunshine and do this video quickly before the clouds start rolling in. So a few people sent in some questions. I gathered them from different places, from my YouTube comments, from Instagram DMs, Instagram comments, WhatsApp messages, and Snapchat. So I'm just going to put it all together and just answer them down the list. So, how long were you sick for? I was sick for let me just say the first 2 months. And it's a matter of being sick every day. So it felt like eternity. Let me say the second 2 months, because the first month I didn't even know I was pregnant. So let me say the second 2 months I was sick. I mean, every kind of food irritated me. I couldn't eat solid foods. I had to live off of fruits and yogurt and fluids. I always had to vomit here. You know this kind of feeling where when you want to throw up but you can't, and it was so annoying. So annoying. I would beg God, please let me throw up today. At least let it give me some kind of relief. So yeah, I was sick for the second 2 months. Also, I was always having a little bit of fever. I was always extremely weak. Extremely weak. Nothing tasted good to me. The smell of everything irritated me. I mean, even the smell of my own breath irritated me. I stopped spraying perfume. I just started using perfume recently. Even till now, I still cannot stand some perfumes. I completely stopped using any form of perfume. I couldn't stand anyone with perfume around me, and I couldn't stand perfume on myself. So those were my issues. Okay, this person wants to know, are you in a long distance marriage? No, I'm not in a long distance marriage. I was in a long distance relationship, but for this marriage, I've decided I will sacrifice everything I can to keep my family together. So no, immediately after the wedding, I moved in with my husband, and I'm only here in the US just, to complete prenatal care and to get ready to have the baby and everything. So it's not long distance. Everything is good, thankfully, because I cannot imagine having a long distance marriage. I mean, it will be so hard to do, I tell you. I mean, you would think that I'm used to it now, but you never really get used to it. How old are you? How old am I? I'm 23. Hello, 23 years old, or 23 years young. How do you know you're ready for marriage? Honestly, when you just find that person that you're in love with, that person that you feel you can go through life with, even though life has a lot of challenges, but you feel like with that person it makes those experiences easier, I think you're ready for marriage. I also think when you get to a point where you don't have a problem sacrificing yourself for others. For example, you don't have a problem sharing things with people. You don't have a problem being selfless and thinking more about others. I think also that's an indication that you're ready. But I would say, of all, when you're with the person that you feel you can be yourself around, you can go through life with, you can't think of living another day without that person, the two of you make such an incredible team together. At least for me, that's how it went. I couldn't find that feeling of peace with anybody else. And at that point, I knew that I think I'm ready to make this decision. How was it planning a wedding in Nigeria? Because I saw the wedding on Bella Naija. And how do people get featured on that site? Okay, planning a wedding in Nigeria is really kind of difficult. But then again, it is not impossible, because obviously in Nigeria we have so many weddings. My experience planning my wedding, I would like to say mostly it was good. The difficult part was just having to always chase down some of your vendors. I mean, I had some professional vendors that didn't require me to chase them down, but I know I had a few that I had to keep chasing down, and I made it a point for me that I wasn't going to hire a wedding planner, because I felt like, you know, the wedding planning business has been completely corrupted. I mean, these wedding planners most times will try to get you to use vendors that you can't afford, and a lot of times they might make you lazy, and you might feel like, because I have somebody planning this wedding, I don't really have to give a lot of my personality into it. That was how I felt. But for me, I wanted my wedding to completely reflect me. So I planned it, or myself and my husband planned it from beginning to the end. I met with every single vendor I could. He met with every single vendor he could. And that was how we did it. And it came out really successful. My tips would be, never ever 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 pay any vendor in Nigeria before meeting the person and seeing what they can do. For example, my food vendor, decoration vendor, all those people, I met with them, I saw what they could do, I tasted their food, I did all of that before paying and hiring them. That's extremely important, because if you do not meet with them and you do not have an agreement with them, they will disappoint you. I promise you. Also, another tip is, for some vendors I did pay in full, but for most I didn't, because I had to give them a reason to show up and do their best. So I will say, always have an agreement with a vendor that you're going to pay this amount down, and when the job is done and done well, they will get the remaining. That's also a good deal. Good thing to have with your vendor. That way they're accountable. That way they don't disappoint you, because they want to receive that balance, or they do their best in order to make you happy, so that your agreement can come through. Oh, and how to get featured on Bella Naija. For me, they wrote me a letter requesting for my pictures and my story and all those things. They wrote me an email. I mean, I think it had a lot to do with the fact that I was I was one of the Wonderland brides, because I entered the BBM Wonderland thing and I was one of the 30 brides. So I think it had a lot to do with that. As far getting yourself featured on the site, like, let's say you have a wedding and you have like no affiliation with Bella Naija whatsoever, and you want your wedding to be featured there, I don't really know. I think you can email weddings. Wait, I think you can email Bella Naija Weddings directly and send them your picture and story, and if they like it, I'm pretty sure they'll feature it. But yeah, they do have an email. You should probably check out their website. Did you have lots of pain and feelings of like menstrual cramping in the beginning? Yes, I did. Menstrual cramping is actually very, very, very normal during pregnancy. This is because your uterus is a muscle. So as your uterus is expanding to accommodate your baby, it's going to get sore. It's going to start, you know, cramping. Just as if you work out, if you lift weights, your muscles start cramping and things like that. So I did feel cramping. Cramping is completely normal during pregnancy, because your uterus is stretching to accommodate the baby. What I say you should look out for is bleeding. Bleeding is never good. So if you have cramping, if you feel maybe you're not happy with the situation, you should see a doctor. Let your doctor check you off as you're okay. But if your cramping ever comes with bleeding, please don't make a mistake not to go see your doctor. You need to go see your doctor and make sure everything is good. Do you have pregnancy cravings? Funny enough, I did not crave what I thought I would crave this pregnancy at all. I craved everything. Every and anything. Some days I craved fruits. Other days I craved sweets like ice cream, cakes. Other days I craved sandwiches. I didn't have a particular craving. I just wanted everything. Like, every and anything. That was my craving during this pregnancy. Some people have specific cravings like pickles, and some people crave ice cream, but for me, I didn't have that at all. I just wanted anything that I could get into my hands and get into my mouth. That's what I wanted to eat. How supportive is your husband during this pregnancy? Oh my God, he is like amazing. I definitely think this pregnancy has brought out the soft side in him. Like, he's so excited about this and about the baby, and like you know, he helps me to like make sure I rub my oils in, like, you know, for the stretch marks you have to like rub your oil in. Like he does that for me. He gives me like pregnancy massages, and like he's been really supportive. Like sometimes when I feel like I'm not pretty. Like he'll tell me, you look gorgeous, you look beautiful, oh my god, like you're the most beautiful pregnant woman ever, which really makes me feel happy. He always tells me like, don't be ashamed of your bump, like be happy, flaunt it, like, you know, let people see it. So he's been so supportive during this whole process, and like I'm just so grateful to have him. And the last question I'll be answering for today, seems like all these questions are about babies, is are you having a boy or a girl? I'm not gonna answer that yet. I'll either reveal that on my baby shower day, or I'll do a gender reveal. So stay tuned for either one of those, whichever one comes first. So guys, that's it. That's all for my Q&A. I hope I was able to answer most of your questions, and if you enjoyed it, thumbs up and subscribe. It was my pleasure answering your questions, and it's always my pleasure to sit in front of you guys and talk. So catch you guys next time. Bye.